Oh yeah, Two of Wands. This feels like the world is in your hands, and yeah, it feels like a last call to like get clear on what you want, where you want to go, and what's unfolding for you, and understanding that it is a choice. Like this next chapter is very much a choice. So if you're in the energy of like waiting for it to unfold, and then you kind of figure out what's going on, and then you move, understand that that's not how it is right now. Understand that your reality is waiting on you to make a decision, make that first step, and then everything will move behind it. And that's not to say, you have to go do a bunch, but it's like just really like that first step, like, okay, I want to go here, and taking that step, and then the rest of the path generates because you took that step in that direction, Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting, like a video game. Like the whole next part may not have been rendered yet until you step into it, because just with video games, all that takes space, all that takes memory, that takes resources in order to populate just one part of the map. So you don't want it to populate this part of the map and then you're going this way, because then that would make the whole game run slow. It would, it would create problems where you don't need problems, when it's like you could just wait for you to decide where you're going and then populate that part of the map. And that's what it feels like right now. Like the universe is just waiting on you to decide where you're going, so it can know, okay, we're sending our resources down that path, or okay, he needs support on this path, or we're sending, this mentor versus this mentor, depending on what, So it's like the very next parts of your path are waiting on you. So yeah, if you find yourself waiting, or, playing a waiting game, or wondering what's next, understand that you're in a space where you're being asked to decide, or you're being called to choose what's next, and to just move in that direction, and understand that you will be met halfway on that path. And yeah, the world is in your hand, and in every way, in every sense. So hell yeah, happy creating. Six of Cups. I'm hearing don't be afraid. I'm hearing we got your back. Oh yeah. And this came out again. I'm hearing the world is yours. And yeah, understand that right now the universe is conspiring to give you a lot of the things you've been asking for, to give you a lot of the fruits of your labor, and as well as, support you in where you're going next. This next chapter is underway. Like, it's not coming, like you're in it right now. And understand that the universe is watching you. Like, you see that person in the back right here? This feels like your guides. This feels like God. This feels like the universe just keeping an eye on you and watching how you're getting acclimated to this new world, this new reality. Even though things may look the same when you look around, and to the untrained eye, not much has changed, but you're in a whole new world right now. And that's exactly what's being brought to the forefront right now. And understand that as things pop up, to not be too wary, or to not be too defensive to where you're blocking yourself, because understand that the universe is walking with you. You're not separate from any of that stuff. So don't feel like you're on your own and protecting yourself. You're on your own and navigating the energies and the people you're coming across and all that. Understand that your path is very protected and is very divinely orchestrated. So understand that you can focus on experiencing and enjoying these new things that are popping up for you, and understand that that's what you're supposed to be doing. Don't waste too much energy trying to watch your back or vet these things when they were handpicked by the divine, And it's like, yeah, you can do that. It's not going to hurt you really, but it's a waste of your time. Like, you're going to, in the end, realize like, oh, okay, this person's perfect for me. When it's like, yeah, you could have just been enjoying the experience and like really being lost in the present moment, being lost in whatever is popping up, whatever is coming up, and really just being 100% operating in love in that experience, rather than operating in 20% love, 30% fear, 20% guardedness, 10%, like where your energy scattered in all these places because you're unsure, because you're trying to protect yourself, but you're also curious, you're all these things, when it's like you could have just been, wow, like, I wonder what this is, and just like really just there with it 100%. Like there's no other motive other than I just want to experience this thing. And it's like, that's what you're being called to cultivate right now, is that curiosity of just like, I want to see what this is about, period. And that's it. And not having to worry about protecting yourself, not having to worry about second guessing yourself or overthinking or any of that stuff that pulls you out of the present moment. So understand, if you can cultivate that the world is yours, and the world is yours through the present moment, through the experiences, through how when you lose yourself in the present, you're really immersed in what you're doing, how you do need for nothing, how you do become abundant, truly abundant in those situations, because it's like you have all the time in the world, you have everything you need, you want for nothing, there is no lack because you're so engrossed in where you are, you're so grateful to be where you are and doing what you're doing that there's nothing that you need. You are embodying love. You're embodying oneness. You're just truly embodying the present moment. And in the present moment is where all the magic lives. And yeah, once you lock in on that, the world is yours. And understand that everything you attract from that state of being is going to be in alignment to everything you want. Because when you need nothing, you attract things that allow you to continue needing nothing, which is going to be the money, which is going to be the support, which is going to be literally anything you can think of that you've been asking for. Yeah, is going to come because you're going to be a vibratory match to that. So yeah, take that very seriously. Definitely prioritize spending as much time in vibratory states that match the future that you're trying to bring in, and not trying, that you are bringing in. And know that the more you can embody those states now, the more you're pulling in your dream reality, because the only way to pull in your dream reality is to embody it now. So whenever you find yourself excited or needing nothing or feeling hella supported and loved, understand that you're pulling it. You're also a match for that future that you've been seeing when you go to sleep. You've been dreaming of, drooling over, mouth been watering. You're like, man, I can't wait. So understand that the way to get that is to embody it now, and to, really lock in on the present moment, at every present moment, really. Hell yeah. Yeah, these messages are rolling. I'm glad they're hitting for you too. I'm excited. This energy feels charged, and it feels like, we're at the foot of something new, and we're navigating new things right now. So the energy feels new, it feels charged, it feels like that beginning of a trip. I don't know, like back in the day when you had field trips where you had to go to school early, but it's early, but it's like there's a certain electricity in the air that's not even typically there on a regular school day where you're there later, But it's like everybody's ready, we all feel the energy, we all know like the next 12 hours, 15 hours are about to be amazing, And it's like, we're at the beginning of that. And that's exactly what it feels like right now. You see what I'm saying? The energy's on 10. I don't know. Okay then. I don't think I've ever even heard that car in here or seen it, nothing. But I'm telling you, that's what the energy feels like. We're turning up. And it's like, hey, all eyes on us, It don't matter how anybody else feels about it, because, man, they can go do the same thing if they wanted to, If they really really wanted to shine and really want all eyes, hey, they could go do it too. But, hell yeah. Definitely don't hesitate to pop your ish, man. This is interesting. Hey. Damn, 3 of Wands. Yeah, this is, I don't know, big on like the what do you want energy. I feel like the energies keep asking me that. Like getting clear on what do you want, where are you going? Like it's a lot of questions. And I love a good question. I love a good why. Why is my favorite question. So that might be significant for somebody. Like getting clear on your why, or whenever things pop up, really understanding the why. Or if like you can only ask one question, I feel like why is probably the best and most insightful question to ask, you know, like it doesn't matter on what. If somebody does anything, it's like you can ask what they did, but that doesn't really give you too much. Like that's gonna be surface, you know. If you don't know their motivations is really what's gonna give you the insight as to what's going on, you know. Because like I can go punch a hole in the wall, but if you don't know why, like there could be a million reasons. Like I could have been mad, or I could have just been excited and I punched the wall like let's go, and it was an accident, or it could have been like, you know, there's a million things. So just knowing that I punched a hole in the wall is probably gives you the least amount of insight. You know, I'm trying to think what other questions are there. How did I punch the wall? That's not really gonna lead you nowhere. What would be like I punched the wall, so that doesn't really tell you anything. Like, yeah, why is like the most insightful when it comes to anything. It's kind of like, why did you punch the wall? And then that'll lead you to my psychology, that'll lead you to my emotional state, that'll lead you to my mental processes, you know, like that'll uncover so much just asking why. So I feel like, yeah, that's a good question to have in your arsenal when dealing with especially when dealing with other people and their own, because you know, everybody's so different. So it's like I can interpret something completely different than how they meant it just because we're two different people. So it's like why will bridge the gap for a lot of things. So it's like, oh my God, I did this. And it's like, you could get mad about it or you can understand why they did it. You know, you can aim to understand that. And that'll tell you more. Maybe you don't agree with what they did, but you can kind of find common ground and like, okay, like, yeah, if I felt that way, I could see why you would do this, you know? So it's like, yeah, that just feels like the call. Yeah, it's to just ask more why. Or if you find yourself confused about something or in a situation, like, I really don't get this situation, or you're not understanding somebody, start asking why. Like, why do you feel that way? Why do you think that? Like, why, you know? And then allow them to, they might not even consider it, you know? So but allow them to walk through their why and walk through their mental processes, walk through, you know, the reasons for why they're doing what they're doing or why they feel the way they feel and all that. And I feel like why leads to breakthroughs time and time again with yourself and in dynamics with other people. So, hell yeah. Get clear on your why. Get clear on where you're going. Get clear on other people's why. Just understand, yeah, get below the surface and understand that that's one of the best ways to do it is to ask that question. So, that was a bit of a different message. And that was cool. Hell yeah.